All right. What's up, everybody? It's 6 days. 6 days to Ironman Louisville. And that means in 3 days, I'll be driving to Ironman Louisville. I'll be staying in Louisville Thursday night. Um, Excited to get there. I posted something today on the Crushing Iron blog that kind of professed my love for that city and sort of hoping that we can all get behind the town. I mean, there's always talk about races leaving certain towns, and there's been a lot of that historically where you know Ironman just kind of pulls up and leaves a race because it's not doing as well. But I think it's been doing pretty well since they moved it to October. But nonetheless, I think I made a call today for everyone that goes to Louisville. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa wished me good luck this weekend. Made a call for everybody that's going to Louisville to race or spectate to, really try to reach out and be kind and take care of servers, thank people, thank locals, maybe make signs that say thank you, Louisville, to hopefully kind of bring, share some love for that town and, make it be known because I think we come in and we feel like it's the biggest thing in the world to come in there and do an Ironman and race. And while it is to us, it's still we're going into somebody else's backyard. It's their home and sort of disrupting their traffic and doing all kinds of things like that. So I was just making sort of a plea to really kind of reach out and be friendly and genuinely interested in and thankful and grateful that we're in Louisville, taking over that town and the outlying communities like LaGrange as well. Just to make sure they know we're thankful to be there, and we really appreciate it because it's just our hobby. We play triathlon, and they really give us a nice stage. They do a great job up there at Louisville. It was the first one I ever watched, and they put a good race together, an awesome finish line, and good energy around the city. And it never hurts to sort of like let them know that we thank them and that it's a big deal for us. So. I am on Taper. Today we had a podcast called Control What You Control. And I'm just doing what I can do, the little things now. In fact, I did have a swim earlier today, and I also had on my schedule a 10 to 15-minute run. And I kind of swam today and then got home and took a little nap, did some work, and started watching baseball. And about 9 o'clock, I realized I hadn't run. So I was literally climbing in bed to listen to some podcasts, and I put on my running shorts and my shoes and went out and did a little 10-minute run around the neighborhood in the dark. And you kind of like what can that even do? But it's just sort of we were talking about it today, and I was talking about how taper for a lot of people means, or they think it means, shut it down. And in reality, taper is just sort of like weaning yourself off the high stuff and still keeping your body aware of what's going on, not completely shutting it down, but like, slowly kind of going down to where you're not doing a lot of anything at all. And then healing and recovering and restoring your muscles and things like that. And then hopefully race day at all times out where they are rested and they're still like triggered and the tension's still there. So I think these little things, that's why I could have easily bagged a 10-minute run just now, but I went out and did it just because I'm trying to stick with the plan and see how it pays off, because I believe in it. It's making a lot of sense to me. I don't know why I didn't run right after I swam. I just got caught up with something and forgot about it. But had a swim today with some efforts in it, nothing too hard, but still, again, it's like you can forget. Like swimming for me is the easiest one to forget how to do. So I'm definitely making sure that I'm showing up and getting to the pool, and I still want to get to the lake. I think maybe Thursday before I leave. I just want to swim in a wetsuit, and it's a easy kind of casual swim day, swim that makes me feel good. And I'm thinking I might want to do it in the lake, and hopefully it's not like burning hot. I was going to do it today, but it was like already 85 degrees or something when I got around to after the podcast. And I just was like, I don't care if the water's 70, if the sun's out and it's 80, it's going to just be too much. So anyway, otherwise I'm going to have to just kind of wear my wetsuit around, get used to the feeling of it, I guess. Uh, Darren wants to know, do I think different people have different recovery times? And also says, best of luck. Yeah, man, I for sure I do. I think it depends on a lot of factors, age, of course, and just generally how you're feeling yourself and what you're used to historically. I come from a fairly athletic background, so I'm used to kind of pushing myself over the edge a lot and having to rebound. So I don't know if that plays into it, like from a DNA deep fiber level or not, but I know some people, and plus, I also think it is where you are in the cycle of things. If you've been doing this a long time, you probably don't need as much recovery because you're maybe a little hardened or callous to everything. But sometimes, even still, depending, like a lot of times, a swim will just knock me down for a day. And yeah, I hear you. I'd rather swim in the lake and the pool any day too. But it's just, man, it's not that easy. It's like a half-hour drive and like a lot of production. I'm not even sure if the beach is even open, to be honest, but I could probably figure out a way to get in the water. But then you're swimming in like areas where you don't know, and it's like, man. So yeah, I think the recovery process is definitely different. It varies from me from day to day, depending on how I'm eating, how I'm sleeping. I've said, and I'm not the best. I just believe that sleep is probably the number one thing that we're all not nailing as far as recovery goes. And not all of us, but I think when I say that, I just mean society in general, especially over here in the States, man. The sleep is just getting so ignored, and it's kind of like grind it out, get up early, get the coffee going, get the thing, and we never really naturally recover, and our muscles never get a chance to kind of heal during sleep. And that's why I do take naps. I'm naturally kind of a space cadet, and I seem to be a little groggy all the time, but I don't know. That's even when I was in corporate America, that was sort of one of the things I would go in late to work. And then it's funny how it like kind of just became a joke, but I would oversleep and go in late just because I didn't get enough sleep or whatever, and it's not their fault, but I just didn't care. I didn't really love my job anyway. And that's the interesting thing about like when you get to a place where you may not love your job or something, which is where I was, you can kind of like sort of mold it however you want, because the it's not, like the worst thing that can happen is they could get rid of you, and that's probably what you want anyway, but it's scary. But might as well enjoy it along the way and not hate it even worse, because I didn't get fired, but it was all I could do to quit. I mean, there's something that it took a lot out of me to make that decision and have the courage to do it. And finally, I mean, it was odd because it was I went through my first cycle of Ironman training for the first one, and did it, and then I started kind of feeling a different sense of confidence and about doing anything really, and that's sort of natural, I suppose, for people, but I didn't really have the confidence to walk away from my job at that point. But about 6 months later, I did. And it was actually right before my first Ironman Louisville. I quit about a month or so before that. And I didn't really have my act together financially or all that other stuff, but I just walked. And it was a great thing, it was not a good place for me. I didn't feel like I belonged from it just didn't work with my being in the news business. And so I got out of that, and did some of my own stuff for a while, and then kind of poured my heart into the podcast eventually, and Crushing Iron. And then things work out if you show up and do the work. So Um, anyway, I guess that's a long way of getting around to the fact that I used to sleep in and didn't really care so much if I was a little bit late going to work. And it literally didn't bother me when people would be like, "Man, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I overslept." And maybe it's just kind of like, "Really? You're going to say that right now in a meeting?" But that's what happened. And so it's kind of also odd when you kind of take your own stand, how you seem to become, more valuable or more, authentic to people, and they sort of want you around, even though maybe you don't want to be. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but I eventually got out of news, and um, I definitely keep an eye on my sleep now, even though I'm doing a lot better. Actually, I'm not great at falling asleep still, but I have been doing a lot better of not waking up multiple times, and I'm sleeping pretty straight through. So that's a good sign. Once I do fall asleep, but I usually get kind of wired at night, which is weird. Um, yeah, so it is Monday night. Yankees are getting pummeled by the Red Sox, and tomorrow is an easy spin on my bike. I'm debating. I got a new derailleur here. My shifting has been a little off, and the other day the guy was like, "You could probably use a new derailleur." So I'm debating having that done. Yes, tomorrow. It's always one of those last minute decisions. Do you really want to start fucking around with it? Probably no, but I don't know. It'll be a morning decision for me, I guess. It's not awful, but my gearing is just not very good at this point. And then tomorrow, I think I also have a little bit of a run. Then Wednesday, I'm off. Thursday is a swim with a little run, and then Friday is off. And then Saturday, I'll do a little bit of riding with a maybe 10-minute run or something just to feel it. And then it's game time Sunday. I actually can't wait. I've been getting a little antsy. It's kind of like, all right, let's get the show on the road kind of thing. Not a whole lot you can do right now except be patient and relish in the recovery, like we were talking about earlier. That's why I took a salt bath again tonight. I took a salt bath, and then I realized I hadn't run, so I went out and just sweated all that salt out. Oh well. So there it is, Crushing Iron Podcast. Check it out. Control what you control. Lisa's excited. I'm excited, but trying to keep it calm and trying to, like I said, rest. And I mean, that's the thing. You get anxious and you want to be moving around and doing a bunch of stuff, but it's a great time to just kick back and let your body do what it does, and that's heal. So thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. I am going to take off and go lay down, listen to some podcast stuff, and then fall asleep. Get up tomorrow and do it again. All right. Thanks, everybody. See ya.